What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Tech Tip Tuesday. So last time we spoke about what to do if your energy went out at your pond. Well, let's just keep these disasters rolling. Let's talk about a flood this time, first and foremost. And this actually is a rule that's going to, percolate through a lot of these disaster scenarios. You want to stop feeding your koi. In a major flood situation, they are not going to be worried about snacking. They're going to be worried about surviving. And leftover food and leftover, unmanaged waste is just going to cause problems in the ecosystem of your pond. And it's not like after a major flood situation, you don't have enough to worry about. So here's the number one thing to remember during a flood situation. You're supposed to be paying attention to the weather. You create an entire ecosystem outside. There's koi that live there and they depend on you to make sure that they're safe. So pay attention to the weather and let's try not to have any major flood surprises, but that's not always avoidable. Now, whether you know that a storm is coming that could cause a potential problem or not, and now you got to run out, either way, it's net time. Your net is going to be your number one defense, and it's going to stop tree branches and things like that from getting in. And if your pumps and systems are still running and you have an excess amount of debris, you could cause a lot of backups and a lot of problems that are going to actually exacerbate an already bad situation. But there is always going to be work done on the other side. You can prevent a lot of that work by putting a net around your pond. So it's always useful to keep one on hand, and you should probably have one anyway just for during the fall season. Just treat it like the entire fall season's about to happen in 30 seconds. Preventative measures are kind of, maybe foregone if you haven't taken care of proper planning when you're actually installing the pond. So we've talked about this a lot. There are a lot of videos that I suggest you go back if you're still, working on installing your pond or thinking about installing a second pond. Installing it up on a hill and places where the rainwater runoff will actually go elsewhere other than that, that watershed that you've created. That's going to do a lot to help you manage this. Now, it's not going to solve all the problems, and we'll get into what you can do if that comes to pass.